I see a lot of my clients go through periods in their life where they're just not as happy with their personal life. Maybe their professional life is working, but they have sacrificed at home. They have sacrificed with their wife or their kids. And I want to remind you, you need to take time to spend time with your family, partners, your friends, even yourself. Really take care of yourself. That's one of the big areas that's often missed is, self-care and, what really gives you energy and what allows you to recharge and all of those things, putting those as a priority so that you can show up fully when you are, serving others, however you do that.
Welcome to Grow Think Tank. This is the one and only place where you will get insight from the founders and the CEOs of the fastest growing privately held companies. I am the host. My name is Gene Hammett. I help leaders and their teams navigate the defining moments of their growth. Are you ready to grow?
Today, we're going to have a very special episode. We're going to talk about how to get what you want, the 4 questions that will guide you. Now, you probably have not heard these questions before unless you're well-read and listen to my podcast, because 2 of them come from previous guests and 2 of them come from just experiences that I've had with my own work as an executive coach for the last 10 years. My name is Gene Hammett. I work with some amazing founders, CEOs, and their teams. There's 2 ways to work with me. One is private coaching. It's probably just as you would imagine. It's someone challenging you. It's someone supporting you. It's someone, looking at your business and even your life from a perspective that's not inside the game. I am outside the game, and there's an advantage to that, a real critical advantage. I don't have to do it the way I've always done it. I don't have to see it the way you've always seen it. I say all this because this is what I do for a living. This is what makes me tick. It's my calling. And being an executive coach has been the best thing I've ever done professionally. And then the second way we serve clients is through leadership development. If you have people on your team that need leadership skills, that need to communicate better, need to coach people up, that need to hold people accountable, I could go on and on and on, then you want to look at what we have going on with Leadership On-Ramp. It's a entry-level product for middle managers, directors, even some executives need that foundation of leadership. And we do an 8-week program called Leadership On-Ramp. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, just reach out to me. Love to connect with you. GeneHammett.com is the home base. But if you really want to make things happen, let's have a chat about what's going on in your world, either coaching or leadership development. Happy to help you see what's next and see if there's a fit there in the work we do. So today's episode is about how to get what you want. I thought about what I do this time of year. And, at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year, I'm looking back and reflecting quite a bit on, what was the year like? What did I experience? Did I actually do what I set out to do? And I had an amazing year this year. I won't, sugarcoat this in any way. Some of the highlights are being able to travel with my family for a month into Europe, 3 weeks in Spain, another week or so in Italy. It was just an absolutely amazing trip, exactly the way I wanted to. My son's growing up, and we wanted to just get out there and experience a part of the world that he had never seen before. So that's what we did. My business also took a incredible jump forward, helping clients, helping fast growth companies from the Inc. 5000 and a few other companies as well that want to really drive growth and create predictable revenue and all those things. And I get to be a part of it. And just some amazing moments this year. My personal life is doing just phenomenally. My marriage, my relationship with my mom and my son, just everything seems to be clicking. Now, I share all this with you because I'm still looking for what's next. I'm still thinking about how I'm evolving as a person, as a husband, as a dad, as a executive coach, and as a person leading this company of 9 people. And so here's the 4 questions that I typically use with myself that will help you. And a lot of this comes from just 10 years of working with clients, and some of these questions, some of them actually come from previous guests. The first one actually does come from a previous guest. His name is Dan Sullivan. I call this the Dan Sullivan question. I think he may have a different name for it, but here's what the question looks like, and I'll throw it up on the screen. If we were having this discussion 3 years from today, and you were to look back over those 3 years to today, What has to happen, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy about your progress? I love the question. It may seem like a little bit wordy, but it's just an incredible way for you to look at it. Let's dissect the question a little bit. 3 years in the future, it's enough time for you to really make something meaningful happen. It's enough time for you to really be able to experience what you want to experience. It's enough time for you to not worry about how things are going to get done, but the things that just get, you can dream a little bit because it's 3 years out in the future. If this were next month, you wouldn't be able to do that because you would be more practical about that. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. But this question, asking you to start 3 years from now, very, very important. The other piece to it is personally and professionally. I see a lot of my clients go through periods in their life where they're just not as happy with their personal life. Maybe their professional life is working, but they have sacrificed at home. They have sacrificed with their wife or their kids. And I want to remind you that you need to take time to spend time with your family, partners, your friends, even yourself. Really take care of yourself. That's one of the big areas that's often missed is, self-care and, what really gives you energy and what allows you to recharge and all of those things, putting those as a priority so that you can show up fully when you are, serving others, however you do that. So personally and professionally is a big part of this question. And for you to feel happy about your progress, it's about, making progress. I say these things all the time when I'm trying to lose weight. I just want to see a little bit of progress. I don't need to make big jumps, but I don't want to go backwards. And it just feels good to have progress. So this question, the Dan Sullivan question, gives you a chance to really think about what you want. Because a lot of people just don't have the capability to slow down enough to think about this. So I give you this first question is a starting point. Now, the second question is, how will your life change in receiving your goal or goals? I'm asking you to go a little bit deeper than what do you want. Maybe this gets to why you want it. Maybe it gets to how your life will be easier, lower stress. Maybe your health will be different. It's for you to decide how will your life change. Look at all aspects, not just your bank account, not just, how the business receives the next award or whatever it may be, or whatever drives you. So I wanted to remind you that you really want to deepen this. You want to spend some time with this question. When you think about your life changing, you just don't even know how amazing it can be. So I want you to dream a little bit about how amazing it can be. Because when you hit tough times, I want you to come back to this piece of paper about how amazing it could be. And if you are, fall off the track a little bit, maybe you eat too much, or maybe you end up going on vacation and you lose some momentum. Fine, look back at this and get it back. That's what this is for. The third question is one. I love this question. It came from the book, The One Thing. Jay Papasan's been on the show before, and he was a co-author of that book. And it's just an incredible book about, what's really most important. How do you really organize and prioritize things around your world? So here's the question from The One Thing. What's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? That question is meant to help you strip away the things that don't matter as much. I find a lot of people want to do everything. They want, lots of goals, lots of things going on at the same time. And if you have too many, you really can't dedicate the kind of focus, energy, attention, resources to that. So what's the one thing? And you can interpret this as the one goal. You can interpret this as the one thing that you need to focus on right now to really help you get that feeling of progress and momentum. Maybe it's one thing that will, if you look at the question, making everything else will be easier or unnecessary. Maybe it's kind of like the cornerstone of this. So, for example, you may say, the one thing for me to do is to lose weight and to feel just really energetic and to really be able to show up fully for everything in my life, from my kids to my partners to my friends to my workers. And if that's it, then that's great. It may be something else for you. Maybe it's time for you to focus on getting out of debt. Maybe it's time to focus on money. Maybe it's time to focus on something, big moment inside your business. We're really pushing forward to grow our business again this year, like by double, because we want to make the Inc. 5000 list, and just really is going to be a stretch, but we're going to do everything we can. And so what is your one thing such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Sit with this question for a while. And then finally, the fourth question. Now, this comes from my coaching, and I don't know if someone else has, coined this somewhere else, but I typically ask this because it's just such a powerful question. It's a very different kind of question. It's not what do you need to do next. A lot of people are really rehearsed in what that looks like. So I ask, who do you need to be to receive this goal or goals? Who do I need to be? The be is the most important part here. Now, I know when I'm doing goal setting and I'm setting something out there that's going to challenge me, I'm not looking for me to be bold. I'm not looking for me to be courageous. I know what I need to do. When I take losing weight, I know what I need to do, but who do I need to be? And I thought about this really hard. And it was pretty simple for me. It came up very clear, but I wanted to really think about this, but I need to be consistent. I need to be consistent with my nutrition. I need to be consistent with my workouts. I need to be consistent with my sleep. If I get those three things right, I'm really close to getting anything I want. I do believe that. Now, I've had some blood tests. I've been working with doctors. I've been all this stuff. And I'm only using this as an example. Yours may be business related. Who do you need to be to receive this goal or goals? I want to dissect that question just a little bit too. The receive part is very important. I believe that you don't get your goals or attain your goals. A mentor of mine, David Nagel, introduced this concept to me, is receiving your goals. It's like, who are you being such that you're in alignment with the person that receives that kind of reward, that kind of fruit? Who are you being? Now, I work with a lot with fast growth CEOs, and you'd be amazed at what I hear. I find a lot of them blaming others, and blaming someone, that way of being, makes you the victim. Not very powerful. I also hear, even though they might have a $10 million company, that they're unsure of themselves or they doubt themselves. That way of being isn't really going to drive them forward in the success. It's not going to inspire others or align others. I also hear that they're kind of scattered. They're focused on too many things, and they know that they need to really be focused. So that's what I mean by the way of being. One last one I'll give you as an example is, being reactive or being proactive. I know you want to be proactive. Everyone wants to be proactive, but are you really clear about what it feels like to be reactive and proactive? Well, the reason for this question is for you to be able to put down in words, who do you need to be to receive this goal or goals? When you can put it into words, you can find when you're in alignment or out of alignment. You have a choice, and that's the point. These 4 questions to help you get what you want are meant to guide you and support you through this. If there's any way I can help you in your business, make sure you reach out to me. I'd love to talk about what's going on in your world, see if there's a way I can help. I've been doing this for 10 plus years. It really is my life's work, and I can't wait to serve you. So when you think of leadership and you think of growth, think of Growth Think Tank. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.